Hey guys, welcome to Blox Talk. I'm Shawn.
And I'm Nass.
And today we're talking about MMOs and the state of MMOs. Right now, the MMO world is booming. We've got ESO that's currently on beta. We've got WildStar that I believe is currently also on beta. Which, I mean, we're all going to talk about these MMOs because we're really excited. I mean, personally, I'm extremely excited for those. I don't know about you.
All right, let's see here. First of all, we're going to talk about the state of MMOs. You said it was booming, but in my perspective, the state of MMO is not as booming as it used to be. It's actually on a decline in terms of the amount of people playing. Because I think MOBAs are taking the place of what MMOs used to be back in the days.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've got people that transition from WoW. I mean, even though WoW is coming up with a new expansion, which we're going to touch in the end, but people have been transitioning from, World of Warcraft, EQ2, Guild Wars into League of Legends, Dota 2, and also something that's not...
Well, Heroes of the Storm.
Han. No. Heroes of the Storm, which is going to be awesome, but Han.
Well, Han is pretty much dead now. Like, it's basically the same degree as Dota 1. I'm pretty sure it has its small niche, but...
That's the thing. It still has its niche. You gotta
Well, that's off the topic. Today's topic is all about the MMOs. And we're going to talk about everything MMO related. Now, the interesting thing about MMOs is that they're actually making a perfect transition to consoles this time around.
Well, which is something that I've been always iffy about, because MMOs and let us know what you think about that, but in my books, MMOs have always been for PC. Like, I've been playing MMOs since I was a child. Notably, I played Ultima, I played EverQuest, I played all that stuff when I was a kid. And I grew up, playing Guild Wars, World of Warcraft, Ragnarok, like all those games. And I've always thought of, hey, it's on PC. And I've been kind of scared because the first MMO that we're going to the first successful MMO that we're actually going to have on console is going to most likely be ESO.
Well, that's an interesting thing because we're going to start talking about Elder Scrolls Online, right? There's a lot of hate towards that game. There's a lot of... It's mixed feelings from everybody. People who are dedicated to the Elder Scrolls series really want their Skyrim to stay the way it is, or like their Elder Scrolls 6 to stick the way it is, and not have that grind MMO aspect to it happen.
Well, the drag with MMOs, and this is what you just said, is the grind. Most MMOs, how they fail into doing what MMOs should do, and successful MMOs are doing, is they make us grind too much. They give it feels like a drag. Playing an MMO is just like, shit, okay, I have to go do like this quest.
Well, it's funny you say that because to me, the best MMO, well, in terms of questing and leveling, was Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Yeah,
it was the most dynamic one out of all of them.
You felt included in the story, and I'm saying this as a player that has played Star Wars: The Old Republic.
We both have,
and I did not like that game.
I had high hopes for me. Like I shed a tear every time I see like the end game content of that game.
I always think of it as a reskin of WoW, and it pisses me off.
Well, it's not really a reskin of WoW. It was BioWare's take on the Star Wars universe into the MMO genre. But now it
had so much promise.
Yeah, it is. It had so much promise. It was to be the WoW dethroner. All right, but then you get to that end content, and you're like, that's it.
Well, that's the thing, and quickly about MMOs, that's where most MMOs fail. I love MMOs. I've played Terra, which, by the way, Terra is one of my favorite MMOs, and that's why I'm so excited for WildStar, and we'll get into that later. But I played Terra, and the end content was alright. Guild Wars 2, the end content was alright.
Yeah.
The only game that, of course, EverQuest and all that in all their respects had great content, but the only game that's excelled at endgame content, and always has, is WoW.
Also, Final Fantasy 11.
FF11.
We'll have to give it to FF11 because yes, it was punishing. Yes, it was hard.
So the thing is, but
it was meant for the hardcore.
Yeah, exactly. It excluded anybody who was like, oh, I want to try to play this MMO. But as an MMO fan, you have to kind of understand that MMOs are based on great players that want to achieve greatness in that game.
Yes, for sure.
You want to put so many hours that in the end, when you start getting loot gear and all that, you want to be raid loot. You want to be like, yes, I'm.
Well, that brings us to a very interesting MMO that a certain amount of people play it, and they don't talk about it because how much they're involved in it, and that's EVE Online.
Yeah,
EVE Online.
It's still kicking today.
It's kicking, and people are making money off of it. People are making a living off of it.
Yeah, it's a huge
They're paying their subscription through the game.
Yeah,
it's a niche, and I think it's the most hardcore MMO we have until now.
And we're gonna
it's like dedicated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and other little thing. I can't wait to see what Star Citizen has to offer.
Really?
Oh my god.
Why?
I don't know. I'm excited for it. I think spaceship simulators are awesome because originally originally it's still today. It's pretty much what Eve is to the core. So we're gonna see. Anyways, not let's not get on that too much. But
Elder Scrolls Online.
So
we're deviating. I think we're deviating from Elder Scrolls because we don't want to like bash the game.
Oh man, but I do want to bash the game so much.
It's like we're getting to the point where we're like trying to escape from talking about it.
No, we're gonna bash it.
All right, we're gonna talk. We're gonna get into it.
Yeah.
Go ahead. When I jumped into that beta, all right, I was very excited to play because the first time I played that game was at E3. All right.
Yeah.
I had a good 15-20 minutes to play a game, but it's an MMO. 15-20 minutes.
It's not
MMO
enough.
is not even remotely enough time.
I mean, I clocked
fully
over
dive in. Dude,
I clocked 300 days on my druid on WoW. 300 days.
That's a lot of days.
That's a lot of days.
That's almost a year you're not getting back.
That's almost a year of my life that I've given. Anyways, but yeah, it wasn't enough. And I actually because I work for a company that led me the opportunity of actually testing ESO on a closed realm, and I played it for about the same time, 20-25 minutes, and I have not played the beta, the closed
stress
beta.
test.
I haven't played it for the simple reason that I was very unimpressed with what I had played originally. I'm just like, this game could be launched as a single-player MMO, a single-player RPG, and it'd be better.
Well, yeah, because see, you're talking about a reskin of WoW, and I think ESO is an actual reskin of WoW.
Yeah.
Just put into the Elder Scrolls world.
Well, this is where we have to be careful because MMOs are, to a certain degree, all reskins of WoW. And WoW is also a reskin of EQ, and EQ is a reskin of Ultima. And
well, not necessarily, because let's look at WoW as a perspective, all right?
Yeah.
I'm a WoW fan, all right?
Yeah.
I'm an actual WoW fan. From Vanilla all the way to Wrath. Cataclysm and Mist from your shit, all right? They've like
Mist was interesting.
They've milked. I feel it's like a milk to the series. Cataclysm made me quit WoW. All right, so
what expansion made you quit WoW?
Tell us in the bottom comments. We'd love to know if you quit WoW or if you actually ever played WoW or if you're interested by WoW. But this brings us to the point of playing WildStar. We're talking about reskins of WoW, reskins of EQ, but I think WildStar is going to be the wild card.
It's the first original MMO.
Yes,
it's the first original MMO since God knows what. And I say original because it has a really weird graphics take. It's a lot of people bash WoW for the graphics,
the artistic, cartoony take.
It's really cartoony. But I think that if an MMO is able to like take that and go, we are cartoony. That's what we do. That's what we want to be. Just go with it. They're gonna have massive.
Well, look at Borderlands. Borderlands is proud of their graphics.
Oh my god,
it's
cel shaded. It looks great.
You know what I mean? Like cartoony doesn't necessarily mean bad.
No, of course not. Of course not.
You know what I mean? It's all about the gameplay, what the game has to offer.
Yeah.
And by the looks of it, WildStar has a lot to offer.
Well, of course, we're going to see kind of a combat system like Terra had, which is an action-based MMO. I love that because if you fail, it's not because your stats weren't high enough. No, it's because you failed. Because you suck at the game.
Exactly. You don't know how to play.
You know, do something else. And the other thing that WildStar, I mean, the one ick I have about the game is apparently you're going to be limited to the amount of actions you can put on your toolbar, and I think for competitive players that's going to become kind of a drag.
Well, if we look at the trends for MMO in general, there's going to be a mod to it. For example, you can change the UI, bartender for a while. You know what I mean? You had a certain amount, but then you could like put a bartender.
But I mean, what I'm saying by that is it's in the game you can only use so many actions.
Okay.
Which you don't want to be restricted in an MMO, especially.
It's true, but at the same time, you don't want to overwhelm people with a lot of stuff.
No, because I guess we'll have to wait to see, because the beta, I think, is going on right now, where it's starting
they were giving out like closed beta for like a stress test for the weekend. I don't know if you guys got to try it. Whoever got to try WildStar through a stress test or has played the beta
down here,
let us know your thoughts down there. Like, we'll talk about it next episode. We'll give you our thoughts about it also. We'd love to get some feedback.
Absolutely. And the one thing that I want to say about WildStar that just drove me insane when I saw it is the class selection.
Why? I'm interested to see why is the class selection that important.
MMOs have always been about this: warriors, priests, pallies, rogues, hunters. I mean, there's always the addition of the cool classes like the monk, the death knight, and all that. But it's always been a recurring theme as for classes. A lot of other MMOs try different things. WildStar is the first one that's just like, fuck the regular genre. We're gonna go with like spell slingers. Espers, which are basically illusionists. They're going with like a weird stalker class.
Well, Esper, we can find like this game right here, Guild Wars 2. You have like a class like the Espers.
Yeah, you have an illusionist.
The Mesmers.
The Mesmers. But I don't like Guild Wars 2, so. Guild Wars 2.
Why
It's
so
not my
mean?
favorite game.
Why so mean? Don't be mean. Don't be mean to the game.
I've always wanted to play a gun mage class, and the Spellslinger looks like a mix between like Nightcrawler and gun mage, and I'm just like, yes, please, I want that. So that's what's going to get me into WoWstar, because they're using really unique classes, and they're taking a fresh take. Anyways, send me a beta, please. I want to try it. Like, and
we'll give you guys a preview. The second we can get that beta going on and everything, we'll try to give you guys a
We're going to do better than that. We're going to Twitch it.
That's even better. If we get a chance to Twitch it, we will be Twitching it on the IMGMR channel, and we will be showing you guys a live footage of the game while we're playing it, and you can give us your actual thoughts about it. So now we're coming back to on subject. Our last thing we're trying to talk about, actually before the end and the meat of it all, is we're going to talk about Warlords of Draenor, alright? Yeah. World of Warcraft is moving on to like, it's 6th expansion pack? It's 5th expansion pack. BC, Wrath, Cataclysm, Mist, and now
5th. So
it's the 5th expansion, the 6th installment. WoW's been there since 2004. Yeah. It's been running for a long time, and apparently there's even 2 expansions after that. A lot of people are getting sick of it. Some people are excited about it. I'm personally excited about Worlds of Draenor. I can't wait to build my garrison. I find that's like some nice micromanagement within an MMO world of macro. So I think Worlds of Draenor will bring back the feeling of the old WoW for many reasons. One, they're recalibrating all the stats.
Yeah.
Alright? What made WoW generally awesome back in BC is the balance of stats, the balance of gear, and we're getting that back with Warlords of Draenor.
Yeah, because just the whole... What pissed me off is the fact that, like, oh, okay, I've been grinding all this stuff, and oh, what's spell power all of a sudden? And oh, all of a sudden, me counting my intellect and my spirits, adding for mana regen doesn't really matter anymore? And
well, I understand Blizzard are trying to cater to both the casual audience and the hardcore audience at the same time, but... The danger in that is you risk losing your hardcore audience because of that.
Well, that's what happened. That's definitely what happened with Mist.
They started losing population. WoW's peak was around, 13, 14 million players. Yeah. Now it's down to 7-point-something million. Yeah. Like, that's almost half its clientele gone.
And most of those are hardcore players that were trying to go into the whole Final Fantasy 14 and, trying to find games that are a lot more hardcore for them. Because when you start, doing those 40-man raids, and basically when your MMO becomes a second job, going into an MMO and being like, oh, this like a toddler can figure out those talent trees. Like, I'm not interested.
Let's be honest here. Look, when you're playing an MMO, you're not just playing the MMO for the end content or for the raids. Like, self-achievements and all that stuff. Like, you want to be the best of the best. It has to do with
that's the main thing about MMO.
But more than that is the actual lore. An MMO game is supposed to have a lore that transcends time, right?
But that's
it's supposed to last. And I think this is the reason why WoW is so successful.
Absolutely, it's the only
reason. Because I think WoW has the best lore in gaming. One of the best. I'm gonna get a lot of haters. I'm pretty sure a lot of you are gonna hate on me on the comment sections.
You're gonna get Final Fantasy and Legend of Zelda. That's what you're going to get. People are going to be like, Final Fantasy, Legend of Zelda.
No, because when I'm talking about storyline and lore, what comes to my head are World of Warcraft World in general, Star Wars, and last but not least, Metal Gear. Those for me have to be the 3 best lores established in a gaming series. So as we were saying, basically... Technically speaking, Star Wars is not a gaming series. It's more of a movie series.
It's always been.
But now it's evolving into becoming a mainstream gaming genre, with the Old Republic, with the MMO, Star Wars 1313, which was cancelled, Battlefront. It's moving on to becoming a gaming series.
The one thing that sucks about that is LucasArts, which is
but Disney bought it. I have confidence in Disney.
Oh, they're gonna make something with it.
I have confidence in Disney, but we're deviating off topic. Let's bring it back here. Lore for Worlds of Draenor, turning back in time, that could change the whole future. It's like back to the past. Could change the future. It could reset Warcraft as a whole. We're gonna give a special dedicated episode to the lore of Warcraft. What Worlds of Draenor could impact the whole lore. That's going to be a separate episode by itself.
So it's too huge. WoW is too big to talk about in one show. You can't do it justice.
We skimmed around a lot of the MMOs coming out this year. A big MMO coming out this year is a Division. Yeah, it's gonna be a different type of MMO. Yeah, exactly. A third-person shooter.
Destiny as well is going to be
Destiny as well. Exactly. So there's a lot of MMO stuff you guys can look forward to for 2014 and beyond. Yeah. So let us know what you guys think is your favorite series of MMO.
Absolutely. But before we close it,
yes, go ahead.
What's your favorite thing about the new Warlords? What's because I've seen the character reskins. That's definitely my...
A lot of people like the character reskins. Oh
man, it was
it's not on my priority list. My priority list is bringing back the hardcore rating, because for me,
40-man.
The old rating in general, Ulduar for me remains the best raid ever established by the WoW team. Ulduar is an amazing raid. If I can see something with that much potential or that much like creativity.
It's all about Nax, baby, for me. But anyways,
well, I don't know how it runs with the favorite thing. Like, if you guys got a favorite raid for a while, let us know down there. Also,
absolutely.
like, hate on it, love it, let us know. We don't care.
So the two questions.
We do care, I'm sorry.
We do care. Let us know. It's like Mazz doesn't, but I do. So the two questions for today are as follows: what's your favorite MMO, and how long have you played it? And question number 2: what's your favorite raid? Let us know down in the comments. So, guys, thank you for showing up to Blox Talk. We're going to have another one of these posted next week. We're trying out a few different days for posting, so let us know what you prefer. You know, do you want it on Monday, Friday, Tuesday?
Let us know exactly what's the better day to post our videos. And on that bombshell, before we let you guys like Twitter or follow us on Facebook, everything's going to be right there.
Share!
How about we leave you guys with a little treat from last week's episode. We asked someone to upload a beautiful video of Titanfall, someone blowing up the epilogue plane, the ship, exactly.
Absolutely.
So let our camera roll.
Dominating that pilot.
The enemy dropship has arrived. Destroy it before they get away.